Now is it fine? I accidentally muted myself. That's why I'm so sorry for that. Anyways, I was just giving a recap of what I did yesterday, and there was no topic for today. So extremely sorry for that. Yes. So yeah, let's move on to today's topic. It's all about having operators, how to have addition, subtraction, and everything, and all the other operators, and as well as we will learn about conditional decisions. If we are having a certain condition, some lines of code will be executed. If there are another conditions, those lines will be executed. So that is our topic for today. So let me draw it here. So firstly, we are going to discuss about operators, right? And then we'll be having the conditional decisions. Right. So we shall have a doubt session at the last 10 minutes. So that will be carried out for yesterday's lecture. If you guys were able to join yesterday's lecture, you would have certain doubts, because when you are coding, only then you'll arrive with some doubts. So I feel free to ask any doubts at the last 10 minutes. I'll be very happy to clear them out, right? Yes, so firstly, let's talk about operators. Operators is something which is very crucial for any programming language, because you need to carry out some sort of operation, then only some instructions can be carried out. Without operators, any programming language would be incomplete, all right? Let's start from the very basic operator, which is the assignment operator. Assignment operator is nothing but just the equal to sign, right? Whenever you are equalizing a value to a variable, this particular operator is used. For example, let's say we have a variable called fruit, right? And we assign the value of that fruit variable to be apple. So here what happens is that the string of apple is being stored inside this variable called fruit. And how does that happen? With the help of this equal to operator. And it is called as assignment operator. It allows you to assign some value to a variable, right? It allows you to store something. The next operators are going to be arithmetic, right? Arithmetic, and then logical, right? And then we'll have equivalent, and finally ternary. Ternary is something which is allied to conditional decisions. I'll be talking about ternary operators once I complete conditional decisions, all right? So with that said, let us start talking about arithmetic. It's not like just only the addition subtraction is happening. There are lots to cover inside arithmetic. So for that, let me start this console tab. I hope this is visible to you all. So firstly, I was talking about arithmetic operators, right? Arithmetic operators consists of, we have plus, we have minus, we have division, we have multiplication, which is the star key. If you press shift and 8, you'll be getting this star symbol, which denotes multiplication. And then we also have modulo operator. Modulo is something to get the remainder. So let us discuss each of them in a brief manner. So obviously addition is something you get when you add something. So 1 plus 1 will give you 2. And let us start thinking about adding different data types, because this is pretty much self-explanatory. So I don't want to go deeper on that. If you add between a string and a number, it converts into a string. This is called as concatenation, right? Concatenation is something whenever you add a string with any variable or any value. So we can have like this. Let us say my name is, let me define a variable called name, and let me say it as Sandeep, right? And then now, if I want to attach this variable to a string, all I have to do is just start with a string, either my name is, then I will close the string, I'll add with the help of the plus operator followed by the variable itself. So if I enter, you could see I'm having a complete string of hi there, my name is Sandeep. So this particular operation is called as concatenation. You add a string with another value and the resultant value will be a string, all right? So what if we do it in this way? So we add with a number, same, it will happen the same. So no matter the position of the string, even if it is in the beginning or it is in the ending, the resultant will become a string. So that is it for string concatenation. Obviously, we have negations also. So 2 minus 4 will give you 2, and minus 9 will give you 2. But let's think of with string. Let us think what will happen. If I subtract it with a string, JavaScript automatically finds it and converts it into a number if it is possible. So let us think of ABC. And if I try to subtract it with 3, you get a type called NaN. NaN stands for not a number. Let me zoom in right here. NaN stands for not a number. Right? Because obviously, if you're trying to subtract some string with a number, it will first try to convert this into a number because we are having a subtraction symbol. We are having a minus operator. If it fails in converting the string to a number, it will lead to a not a number value. This is a specific value which is implemented in JavaScript. Otherwise, if it is able to convert into a number, then it will give you a valid answer. So what will happen here? This will convert into a number and give you the answer as 8. So that is what exactly happened previously. Let me also show it once again. 10 minus 4 will give you 6. Why? Because this is convertible to a number. Right? All right, so that is all about strings with numbers. Let's start trying with Booleans with strings. So let me try with true, all right, with ABC. It gives me true and ABC. Again, this is a string, and anything which is concatenated with any data type will give you a string, as I told you before. Let me try with undefined. Right? Again, it gives you the same value. Let me try with null. Again, it gives you the same value. So what have we learned here? Whenever you try to add something with a string, it absorbs into itself and gives you a resultant value of a string itself. This is called as concatenation. I'm sorry, concatenation, right? Yes, that is all about string concatenation. This is very, very useful if you are getting an input and trying to print it. Shall we try that now? So let me go to my code editor. And let me just have the app.js clear because this was yesterday's file. Let me just clear everything. Right. I'm just going to have a h1 tag. Again, h1 is something which allows you to have a heading on the HTML document itself. Right. Let me take this as a timestamp to convert this into conditional decisions and operators. So let me go here and let me try to convert it as day 4. So since we are at day 4, we just write as day 4. All right, everything is set. Now, as I have taught you before, the approach to get an input from a user is with the help of window.confirm, right? Or you can just say, sorry, not window.confirm, it's window.prompt. Or you can just ask for prompt. I'll let you know about the window object at later periods of lectures. That is a pretty much deeper topic, all right? It deals with the document and DOM. So let us keep it at a later lecture. So prompt is something which allows you to get an input and then you can do whatever you want with that input, all right? So let me store the result of the input into a variable. I'll have it as name, right? I will store it inside the name variable of whatever input we are getting. Let us ask a question called as what is your name, right? After we get the name, all I'm going to do is I'm going to print the name along with some concatenated string. So let us say that document.write hi there and followed by a space, because if I am not having a space means it will be attached immediately. So I don't want that. It will be a bit ugly. That's why. So now I'll have a plus symbol and followed by name, right? So now if I come here and reload this, you could see I'm having a name here. What the question of what is your name? Let me just type it as Sandeep. And if I press OK, you could see I'm getting the answer called hi there, Sandeep. And how did this happen? Only with the help of concatenation. We add something with a string, and the result is going to be a string itself, right? Hope that is clear. Let me move on to the next operator, which is obviously multiplication. You can multiply something and it gives you the answer. So let us try with a string. Again, it gives you a not a number. But what if we have a string along with a number? It gives you 8. Again, this methodology is same for all the operators. It tries to convert a string into a number, right? If it is possible, it moves further and gives you the answer in number, or else it will give you a value called not a number, right? That is it all. That is all about multiplication. You don't have much more to learn in multiplication. Division is something, again, that is also too shallow. You can divide it and it gives you a floating pointer. This is something you need to consider, people. In C and C++, if you are defining a type of integer, that is in older programming languages, the answer, even if it is a decimal, the decimal points will be truncated and only the integer part will be shown. But whereas in JavaScript, you do not have that constraint, as I already told you in previous lectures. Number data type contains both real numbers as well as decimal numbers. I mean, the numbers without decimals as well as the numbers with decimals. So obviously you will get an answer if it contained a decimal, and it won't be an issue in JavaScript. One weird thing in JavaScript is that if you try to add 0.1 and 0.2, you get this weird 0.30000004. This is something because we have a truncation error in JavaScript. The guys who have implemented this way back in 90s had some bug in that code and they never really tried to clear that. So that is why you always have to implement any currencies in terms of their lower currency format. Let me tell you what I'm trying to say. Say that you are trying to have an e-commerce website and the order amount totals to say like 123 rupees 30 paise, all right? If you are trying to add this and if you are trying to give this as a decimal number itself, you may lead to any truncation error. That is something which we never want. So that is why we will try to convert it into a lower currency format. That is, we'll try to multiply with 100 and then we'll be passing this amount to the payment gateway. The payment gateways also understand that there is an issue in truncations. That is why they also accept only in the lowest, most currency format. So in our case, what will happen? It will become 12,330 paise. So that is a fun fact. And I thought to tell you this during teaching operators. So I just told you this. All right, division operator is over. And now I have to carry over with the modulo operator. Modulo operator is something which we can get the remainder if we are dividing something. So let's say we have 4 divided by 3. It gives you 1.3333, right? Since it's indivisible, it's not completely divisible. It doesn't give it remainder 0. Let us try to get what the remainder is. And all I have to do is just put the percentage operator and followed by the divisor. You could see I'm getting a value of 1. How does it happen? Well, let's come back to the math class. So we have 3 and we have 4. 3 ones are 3. And what is the remainder here? We have the remainder as 1. So what if we try to divide 8 with 10? 8 ones are 8. And we get the remainder as 2. So whatever remainder is present is called with the help of modulo operator, and whatever quotient is available is called with the help of the forward slash. All right. So let us try that once again. 10 modulo 8 will give me 2. All right. This is all about operators, guys. You can concatenate something with the help of plus, a string, and anything can be compared and concatenated with the help of the concatenation operator, that is plus. You can have minus for subtraction, star for multiplication, forward slash for division, and percentage for modulo operators. Let me take this as a chance to see the live chat. All right. Everything is going good. Fine. Great. So everything is fine, right? Did you have any doubts? Please do say. Yes. I'll be waiting for about 10 seconds. If you had any doubts, I'll be happy enough to clear it. Now it is coming. Under day 4 folder, only HTML and JS file is created, no workspace. Yeah, who asked it? Sangeeta, there is nothing called as workspace in JavaScript. You do not have to create any project folders or any sorts of configurations like you do have in Java or something other programming languages. That is why JavaScript is so convenient. You don't even have to create a folder at all. Just go to your normal browser, right click on it and select inspect, and you will natively get all the JavaScript features in the browser itself. You do not have to need any sorts of configuration at all. You can just directly code it and yeah, it will work. If suppose you are building a larger project, only then you will have to do some sort of dependency injections, and that is a complex topic that will be not covered in this series. Yes, how does the concatenation happen in hexadecimal values? You do not have a certain data type called hexadecimal. However, you can convert it if you have this parse. There is a method called parse int, right? Parse int supports the string itself followed by the radix. Radix means the type of number you want to print. If you want to print it in binary, you can print it in binary, you can print it in hexadecimal, and you can print it in octal as well. But there is no native data type for hexadecimal in JavaScript. Everything comes under a huge type called number. Be it decimal, be it hexadecimal, be it octal, be it binary, everything. It comes under number data type. Do we have floor division? Yes, we do have, but there is a separate method called maths.floor. You will get the result first and then you will floor it. There is nothing called a specific floor division. You first get the result. I'll just show you. This is just a doubt resolving for Sangeeta alone. So let's just say we have 4/3, all right? It will give you a decimal value, right? So if you want to floor it, then you can call the maths.floor and perform the operations inside. If you want to seal it, that is go to the uppermost value, then you can use maths.seal. So if you do 4/3, it will give you the uppermost boundary value. For floor, lowermost boundary value, right? Okay, so every operator has been covered except ternary operator, which I will be, oh, sorry, I forgot the logical operators, right? So these were all the arithmetic operators. The next topic is logical operators, right? Logical operators are something which is able to compare between two different values. Let me just tell a technical term for what is operand and what is operator. So till now we have seen plus, minus, division, percentage, star, right? These are all called as operators. No big surprise. The numbers or the values which is present on the left and the right side are called as operands. So in our case, if it is an expression called 3 plus 2, these are called as operands, right? And this is an operator, right? So 3 is an operand, plus is an operator, 2 is an operand. So likewise, it is prevalent for every single expression, be it a logical operator expression, be it an assignment operator expression, or be it an equivalent operator expression. I'll just teach them line by line. So the next thing is, as I just told you, we have the logical operators, right? Logical operators are something which helps you to compare between one or two values. We have the greater than, we have the less than, we have the double equal to, we have triple equal to, right? We have the not equal to, we have not double equal to, and we have less than or equal to, and we have right. So yeah, if we say we have greater than or equal to, and we have less than or equal to. Let us discuss each one of them here. So obviously we can have a greater than symbol if you want to guess if one value is greater than or another, and same applies in an opposite direction for less than. So let us start discussing everything line by line. So yes, 1 is greater than 2. It gives you a Boolean of false or true, because obviously when you are trying to compare something, you need to give a result which is yes or no. It's not a type of a numeric or a string solution. It is a type of decision making solution, right? If it is a yes, it gives you a yes value. If it is a no, it gives you a no sort of value. False is something which tells you no. It is a negative. It's a falsy value. So obviously we'll get it as a false. If 2 is greater than 1, obviously it is. So we get the value as true. That is it for greater than symbol. Obviously we can have it for lesser than as well. Let us try to compare with strings. It still gives me true. Again, the same strategy is followed. It gives me false because it doesn't able to convert it to the number. That is why it gave me a false. So anything which is not convertible to a number will give you a value of false. If it is able to convert it to a number, then the regular operation is followed. So that is all about greater than and less than symbols. Let's move on with double equals. All right. Double equals is something you will come across regularly in any conditional decisions. All right. So double equals is something to make sure that whether if the right hand value is equal to the left hand value, right? So let us say we have 1, right, is equal to 1. It gives me true. And if 4 equals 4, it also gives me true. To cover any expressions and validate between both the sides, you need to use the parenthesis. What I'm trying to say is that, say if you want to get the value as, if 5 is greater than 3, right, it is, but I want to ask the same as equal to as 3 less than 5. It gives me true. So let us all decipher what really happened here. 5 is greater than 3, right? It gives me the result of true. So let us say we have true on the left side. Is 3 less than 5? Yes, it is. So it gave me the value of true on the right side as well. Is true equal to true? Yes, it is. And that is why we got the answer as true. So this is how you will perform any sorts of expressions and make it valid on both the sides. So let us say we make it as a greater than symbol here. Is 3 greater than 5? No. So what happened here is, again, if 5 greater than 3? Yes, it is. Is 3 greater than 5? No. So I'm asking, is true equal to false? Definitely it is not. True is not equal to false. So that is why it gave me the answer as false. This is how you will perform equivalence between two operands. But one thing you have been confused, you might have been confused, is that if I try to compare between a string and a number, it still gives me true. What if you want to have strict equality? In other words, what if you want to check the data type as well? Well, it turns out there is an operator called strict equality operator, and that is done with the help of triple equals, right? So now if I try to strictly equalize between the string 2 and the number 2, it will give me false. Why? Because it will first check the value. Obviously, they are equal because string 2 is equal to the number 2. But if it checks the data type, obviously they are different. String is a string, number is a number, and they are not equal. So that is why it gave me the value as false. So let us try with the same thing in terms of Boolean. If true equals to true, obviously it will not equal to true because this is incomparable. All right, this cannot be converted into a number. But however, if I try to use like this, 1 is equal to true means it is equal. Why? Because let us see what it is all about. As I told you on the previous lectures, computers understand only binary language. It is called as mission code. Mission code consists of just zeros and ones, right? 0 is something which is referred as a falsy value, and 1 is something which we recognize as a truthy value. So that is why in programming, if anything which is not 0, it is considered as a truthy value, be it a string, be it undefined event, be it anything, be it negation numbers as well. Anything except 0 is considered as a truthy value. That is why when I tried to equalize with a Boolean variable, it gave me the answer as true. And again, please note that I didn't use the strict equality operator. But If I try to use the same sort of expression with a strict equality operator, it gives me false because obviously the data types are not same. So this is exactly how you will equalize two operands. If you want to check the data type as well, use triple equals. If you want to check only the value, just use double equals. All right. Let me just see the live chat now. Like, does hexadecimal alphabets give result as an auto number in JavaScript? Let us try that. So let us see 0x1234 is equal to, let me just try to convert it. Percent 0x1234. Yes, it does convert to number. Kushal, Jain, this does happen. So now all you have to do is you can just make sure that now you can concatenate with some sort of string, and this works fine, right? That is the answer for you, Kushal. For numbers, what type of data type we can use? For numbers, what type of data type? Number is itself a data type, Shrikant. Primitive data types are number, string, undefined, null. All right. For programming, do we need good math? No, not at all. If you learn addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, that is enough. If your field is something which is related to data science or machine learning, only then you need to learn calculus and some sort of things. Otherwise, you're good to go. Yes, as Chandan said, if you have read till 12th maths, it's enough. Yes, correct. So speaking of equalizing operators, that is pretty much about it. Let's start discussing about not equals. Not equals is the same as equals, but in the opposite manner. If you're trying to ask if any operand is not equal to an operand, you can ask with the help of an exclamation mark followed by an equal to sign. So let's say if 2 is not equal to ABC, obviously it is not equal. That is why it gives the value of true, right? All right, so let's start discussing the same with strict not equality as well. So if you have the value of 5, and if you are trying to not equalize with the string 5, it gives me the value as true. Because obviously, right, even if the value is same, the data types is not same. So that is why it gave me the value of true. That is all about not equal to operator. And we have one last thing, which is less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. It is pretty much self-explanatory. If any value is greater than or equal to the right-hand side value, it obviously gives you a Boolean result of falsy or truthy. So let's say we have the value 2, or let's say we have the value 5. If 5 is greater than or equal to 4, it gives me true because obviously it is greater than 4. Let's say we have 4 is greater than or equal to 4. It also gives me the value of true because 4 is not greater than 4, but it is equal to 4. And if you ask me the question, do we have strict operator for less than equal to? Unfortunately, no. You do not have double equals for less than and greater than. You only have a single equal sign. As per that, let us start looking for less than. If 1 is less than or equal to 5, obviously it is, but 1 is not less than or equal to -1. So that is all about the operators in terms of logical thing. The next thing is bitwise operators, but I think we cannot learn much about it because we need to learn about bitwise shifting and everything, and I guess that is something is out of the scope for this crash course. If you go to JavaScript bitwise operators, you can see what is a bit and everything. I'll just give you a small introduction of binary things. As I just told you before, the machine code is something which has binary digits. It consists of 1, 0, 0, ones and zeros, sorry, ones and zeros. So that is all about it. If you want to use bitwise operators, there are something which is called as shifting. Right. So let's say we have a binary digit called 101, right? If you want to shift something to some sort of digits or something, you can use double less than operators. If you want to shift something to the right side, you can use double greater than operators. So let's say we have the binary digit of 101. You shift to one place. This will give you the value of 1010. So we have 3 digits here. If we are shifting something to the left side, the number of digits is calculated here. So the number of places is being calculated here. Since we have mentioned the digit as 1, only one place will be shifted to the left side. And whichever places are shifted will be automatically filled by zeros. That is all about it. The similarly, if you are trying to shift something to the right side, so let's say we have 101 to 1, we will be truncating the digits towards the end. So in our case, what will happen is the 1 which is present here will get truncated, or in other words, will get deleted. So you get the answer as just 10, right? So again, this is something which will be confusing. That is why I thought of not teaching this in the crash course. And this will not be useful in the daily life as well. You will rarely come across binary digits. You will always be using the regular JavaScript things. Speaking of JavaScript things, I just remembered something from yesterday's lecture. Someone has asked me how to find the data type of something. We can visually notice that it is a number or it is a string, but compute programmatically, how do we get the type of a number? Speaking of that, there is a keyword. Keywords are something which is reserved and that cannot be used by ourselves. They have been pre-written in the programming language. That is called as keywords. So there is a keyword called type of. All right. This keyword will tell you the data type of any value which you are providing. So let's say we have ABC. If I press enter, you could see I'm getting the value as string, right? So what if we get the type of 5? No surprise at all, it's a number. But turns out if I create an array here and have array of numbers, what answer do you expect? We will be guessing like it is an array, so that is why it will be giving the value as array. But turns out it gives the answer as object, and I have given a fairly long explanation of why it is on yesterday's lecture. If I create a new object with the help of curly braces, let's say we have a name and it has a value of myself, right? It gives me the value as an object as well. So arrays and objects might look different, but everything comes under the object parent. All right, let us talk about it later. All right, that is not something which is easy to wrap up, so I'll be keeping that on the later lectures. That is it. Some person have asked me in terms of finding the data type of any value. So this is the answer for it. All right. So we have completed the operators. Let's move on with conditional decisions. But before that, let me just see the live chat. Right. Can we do something like integration and differentiation? To my knowledge, no, but we can have trigonometric values for anything. You can have math dot cos of 30, right? You have cos of 30, and you can do all sorts of trigonometric calculations, but I have never come across differentiation or integration, unfortunately. My work didn't demand me to do such works. That's why. Is everything all right till now, people? If not, please do let me know. The difference between double equals and triple equals. Vaibhav, the difference between double equals and triple equals is that in double equals, you will be checking between the values alone. So 2 is equal to 2 is equal to true, because it doesn't check the data type at all. The value of 2 is similar to the string of 2. But triple equals also checks the data type. So if I have triple equals of 2, it gives me the value of 1s. So if you want to check both the data types as well as the value, you should use triple equals. Or if you want to check only the value, you can use double equals. Turns out, in every possible cases, you must use the strictly equivalence operator, which is the triple equal sign, right? You should never use double equals because it might give you bugs. That is what. All right, then let me continue with conditional decisions. Conditional decisions is something which allows you to perform only a set of code if it satisfies some condition. That is all about conditional decisions. We all have conditions in our life, be it education, be it lifestyle, be it finances, be it anything. We all have conditions. We cannot run every single desire into ourselves. Only if we meet some condition, we can be able to perform that operation. Be it going to a supermarket, if we did have the amount in our bank account, only then we will be able to purchase something. So everything in our life is full, how could I say, is covered with conditions. So likewise in program as well, you can depict the program flow by filtering or tributarizing the conditions, right? So how would I put it? Well, you can perform the how could I say, the conditions with the help of two different operators. That is, one, you have the OR operator and you have the AND operator, right? So in JavaScript, if you are asking something which is equal to something, that can be done with the help of equivalence operators. But turns out, if you want to check both the sides and if one thing is true, you are allowed to go. If, say, for example, you have the scenario of checking only the truthiness of one side. If that is true enough, you can move ahead. If that is the scenario, you can then use the conditional operators, all right? So let's say we have this symbol. So if 2 is greater than 3 or 3 is greater than 2, it gives me the value of false. So let us start depicting what it is exactly. 2 is greater than 3. Is 2 greater than 3? Nope, right? It is obviously not true. Is 3 less than 2? Nope, it is obviously not true. There is a thing in mathematics and in digital circuits called as truth table, right? The truth table is something which you need to learn in order to understand this logic. Let me just draw the truth table for you in the whiteboard so that you will understand that. This is important in any sorts of digital circuits. If you have come across the background of ECE or something, you would have definitely wired some digital circuits. In that, you'll be having some LED lights. If you are passing the current on one side and if you're not passing the current on the other side, you will not get the current. So these are all related to each other. So let me just draw the truth table here, and then you will understand what it is. Sort of like formulas, actually. But it is not that hard to wrap around because it involves mathematics as well. And is something which is sort of equal to multiplication, right? Or is something which is sort of equal to addition, right? So let us start looking the values for the formulas. Let us start for the AND thing first. If false and false means, as I already told you before, the numeric representation of false is what? 0. Anything which is except 0 is true, right? So let us consider this falsiness as true and truthiness as 1. So as I just told you, AND is similar to multiplication. So what is 0 into 0? It is 0, right? So that is why we get the value as false. Similarly, if you have false and true, you will get it as false because false is 0, true is 1, 0 into 1 is what? It's false. Similarly, if you try to logical AND for true, you will get it as false, right? Again, 1 into 0 will give you false. But what if you try to logical AND between true and true? It will give you the value as true, right? So what is the value, numeric value of true? It is 1. What is the numeric representation of true? It is also 1. So 1 into 1 is what? 1, which is the result of true, right? So this is the truth table for logical OR. Logical OR represents two ampersand symbols, which is located in the number 7 key. If you press shift and press the number 7, you will get this symbol. This symbol is sort of like a pipe, right? We always do call it pipe in programmatical jargons. So this is something which is located near to your curly braces. If you just look at above your enter key, it is present there. Just press shift and press that key. You'll get this symbol. So now that we have seen it for logical AND, let us look at for logical OR. So let me just erase these. Right? Let me just increase the size of it so that I can erase it pretty quickly. Yes. So let me just erase this as well. Right? Let me start using the OR operator. So what is false plus false? This is 0, right? What is 0 plus 0? Let me also erase this one. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. What is 0 plus 0? It will give me 0. So that is why we get it as false. What is false or true? As I just told you, OR is something which is compared to addition. So 0 plus 1 will give you 1, which is indeed true. What is true or false? It will give me the value of true, because 1 plus 0 is 1, which is true. And what is true or true? It is also true. So 1 plus 1 is equal to true. So whenever you come across this logical operators, you need to consider it as a multiplication or addition. So let me come back to what I have derived on the code, right? So here what happened is that, is 2 greater than 3? No, it is not greater than 3. Is 3 less than 2? No, it is not less than 2. So what happened here? What is false plus false? 0 plus 0. It gave me the value as false. So this is something you need to learn very deeply. Then only you might be able to get an idea of conditional decisions. So what will happen here is that if something is true here on one side, and if something is not true on the outside, you will get the result as true. But whereas if both should be true, right? If you have some scenarios whether you need to check both the sides are truthy or not, then you must use the logical AND operator. So let us consider this. We have a bill amount, right? We have a bill amount of 100 rupees, right? And we make sure that our bank balance, or in other words, our balance in our wallet is something which is greater than our bill amount. So let's say we have a wallet amount of 110, right? So now what you're going to do is you will check whether if the wallet amount is greater than bill amount, as well as the wallet amount is greater than your, the personal expenses or something. So let us say the wallet amount is greater than your bill amount, all right? And wallet amount is greater than your, let's say we have like internet bill, right? Internet bill always ranges from 700 all the way up to 2000 or something. So let's say we have the number called 700. So now you get the value as false. Let us start deciphering it. Wallet amount is greater than bill amount. Yes, it is true, because what was the wallet amount? It was 110 and you have the bill amount of 100. So it was true. But turns out, obviously, wallet amount, which was 110, is not greater than 700. So that gave me the value of false. So what is 1 into 0, as we have covered here? Just neglect this. Just calculate in your mind. What is 1 into 0? It gives me the value of 0. So what is the Boolean representation of 0? It is false. That is why I'm getting the answer as false. So this is something you need to get your heads wrapped on. All right. Let me come to the live chat. What if we want to show only two values after decimal point? There is a method called math.toFixit. Sorry, I think we have dot toFixit. And there is a method called fixer, I guess. I'm not sure about that. Just give me 1 second. JavaScript to fix it. Yeah. If you just go here, yeah, there is a method called to fix it. Great. So it is an independent method, I think. 1.4431. All right, there is not a method like this. Let me just check here. All right, so we have the number and you need to attach a method to it. I will discuss more about this when we cover functions. That is a different topic for me. But to quench your doubt, who asked me that? Mrugesh, this is how you do it. Same question as Mrugesh. Okay, Adrish, I think you would also got the resource for it. Bar num, yeah, num to fixed. Yeah, Chandan has solved my doubt. So has made my job easier. Thank you for that, Chandan. So is there any doubt till conditional decisions? Is there any doubt till conditional decisions? Please do tell me and I shall be happy enough to teach you that. We have, there is nothing more else because I have kept to myself that the if, else, and else if will be covered tomorrow, because if I try to cram it today, you will not understand it. That is why I have kept conditional decisions and operators as a separate lecture to allow yourself understand what it is all about. All right, and then that is it for today, I guess. As I told you before, if you had any doubts on previous lecture, that is on arrays and objects, you can start asking me. Let me give you a small recap before going to the doubt session. So we have discussed what is operators. All right, now let me just draw here. We have discussed about operators. Right. What is an operator? Operator is something which allows you to perform a certain operation between two values. That is all about operators. They are like a helping aid to the operation itself. You have arithmetic. You have logical. Let me just drag it below here. You have conditional. You have bitwise. And you have ternary. Right? As I told you that ternary will be covered in conditional operators. We are running out of time. If you want me to teach the ternary operator today, I will be happy enough to teach you. But if you are feeling a bit clogged up, then I'll be happy enough to teach you tomorrow as well. This is nothing. Ternary operator is something you have a question mark, all right? And you have two things here. You have a truthy, you have a falsy here. You'll be having a condition here, all right? This would be a condition. This is the syntax. I'm literally saying the syntax actually. This is a condition. And if this condition is true, this will get evaluated. I'll write it as truth, truthy result, and this one is falsy result. Right? So let's say we have the condition as is 2 less than 1. Obviously, it is false. So if 2 less than 1, I'll be printing something here. Let me just say it as true, and let me keep it this as false. Right? So what will happen is that if 2 is less than 1, it is not. So the falsy result will be evaluated. This will not get considered. This is closely related to if-else conditions, and that is why I try to keep it on tomorrow's lecture. But again, this is literally the syntax. Let me just show you what it is. So let's say we have this particular condition. So if if apple is equal to orange, right? If it is equal to, then I would want to write it to the HTML page as the fruits are equal, right? Or else I'll be separating between truthy expression and falsy expression with a colon, and again I'll also write it with the help of the fruits are not equal. So what will happen here? Apple is not equal to orange. So obviously, if I press enter, you could see I am getting the result as the fruits are not equal. Why? Because it gave me false. False is equal to the falsy expression, which is this one. That is why it wasn't evaluating the truthy expression. That is all about ternary operators. Again, it might sound pretty much unnecessary as of now, but you will be learning it in conjunction with if-else conditions. All right, so we have discussed what are conditional operators, the truth table behind it. We had pipe symbol for logical OR. We had the AND symbol for logical and we had conditional operators, triple equals, double equals, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, less than, greater than, not equal to, strictly not equal to. We had arithmetic operators, plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulo, etc. We had a pretty shallow overview of bitwise, but yeah, I don't want to confuse you guys. Difference between let and var keyword and JS. We haven't learned that. So yeah. Basically, I'll answer your question, but that might sound pretty strange to all the people. However, I do not want you to go out of disappointment, that is why. So let is something which allows you to have a scope in block wise, whereas var will allow you to have a scope in function wise. That's it. And hoisting is not allowed in let. That is the difference. Since again, since we didn't learn anything related to let and const, any of the ES6 features, again, I do not know whether you understood it or not. If you had any doubts in arrays or objects, please do let me know. Adrish, I taught you ternary. Is this understandable enough? Or no worries, I'll be doing the same thing tomorrow as well. Will you teach again everything in the course? Again, in the sense, Sarvesh? From the scratch? Yes, I think we are running out of time. It is about 1. So if you do not have any doubts, please do respond and I'll be understanding that you do not have any doubts. So today's homework or something you can do for yourself is that try coding whatever I have said. Like keep my video as well as you can keep your code editor side by side and try to code by yourselves, because theoretically you might seem that you are getting everything, but once you start coding, only then you will be able to figure out all the all the bugs and everything, the gray areas where you didn't understand. Can we access the elements in array with the help of dot operator? Well, let us check it out for ourselves. So let us say we have an array, right, of 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So if I wanna get the third element, which is obviously the index number 2, if I press 2, you will not get it. Why? Because arrays can only be accessed with square brackets. That is the lesson you learned yesterday. Arrays can be only accessed with the help of square brackets. That's why I told you first arrays and then I came to objects, because that was chronologically correct. Arrays is a limited object. Object is like an independent array. You do not have any limitations. You can use either the square notation or the not notation for objects, but whereas in arrays, you cannot do that. Yes, I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I was so happy that I came to meet you all. Feel free to join tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day where we'll be learning if, else, if, and ternary operators as well. We'll be building small sort of applications, right? We'll be just guessing type of voting system or sorts of billing or anything. We'll just have like a small application and we'll learn from that. Yes, that is pretty much about it, guys. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Have a great lunch. And let me see you all tomorrow. Tune in at 12 p.m. Yeah? Bye.